All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto. It is November 9th, 2022, just about 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? So in today's content, we'll talk about BTC on the macro level, right? From the quarterly time frame all the way down to the 3D and daily time frame and all that good stuff. And what type of quarterly price action we could anticipate going into a going into a Q1 2023 and all that good stuff. Okay, we just got a new low, right? We broke below the 17.5, right, and just hit the monthly 100 EMA and all that good stuff. But we talk about the monthly 100 EMA, how irrelevant it could be, right, over the next like a few months and all that good stuff. And the reason for that is like it is too close now to our previous lows, right? Just about like a 17.5. Okay, the current monthly 100 EMA, it is at 16.5. So if you've been watching me long enough, we've been talking about the monthly 100 EMA. We're going to ignore it because the difference between our June lows and our monthly 100 EMA, it is not that much. Okay, it is just about like a 5 to 6% and all that good stuff. So for the macro level, right, it really doesn't matter if bulls want to basically keep the price above 17.5 or like a 16.5. So it won't make any difference. Okay, that's one of the reasons we've been saying like, hey, we're going to pay attention to the monthly 100 SMA. Okay, the monthly 100 SMA, as we've been saying over the last few months, as of now it is at 12.5 give or take. Okay, so something to basically keep in mind. Let me make sure the sound is good. All right, give me a 589. All right, thanks a lot, Mr. Shu. 589, the sound is good and all that good stuff. Okay, so first support, right, temporary. Okay, the monthly 100 EMA, I'm just going to repeat it for Leroy. The monthly 100 EMA, okay, it is a temporary support, but on the macro scale it really doesn't matter if BTC find the support at 17.5 or 16.5 or 16k and all that good stuff, because it won't make any difference, because the bull run won't start until we get above the monthly 21 EMA. You see what I'm saying? And the monthly 21 EMA as of now, it is at give or take 30k area. So bulls got a lot of work to do to get back up to the monthly 21 EMA. Sometime in Q1, Q2 2023, if we get some volatile price action to the upside, right, bulls could regain control of the monthly 21, and we're gonna be like, okay, now we got a a very high probability of being in a bull run, right? So something to keep in mind, we just hit our temporary support, but it might not be the permanent support. So still have to wait for the next like a few weeks or even month, okay, for the price action to get a permanent support and all that good stuff. The the lowest support area on a monthly basis is going to be the monthly 100 SMA, right? So before we take a look at the RSI and all that good stuff, so now let's take a look at it in terms of Elliott wave and Fibonacci's, right, and all that good stuff. Okay, in terms of wave analysis, what we said was like, we got our 5-wave structure right here. All right, so after a 5-wave structure, you're going to get some sort of correction. Okay, sometimes you don't know what type of correction you're gonna get. Okay, so for instance, the correction we got right now, it is pretty vertical on the monthly, right? But if you take a look at it, what we had back in 2018, right, it wasn't vertical. Okay, we created a triangular formation on the monthly, consolidated around the monthly 21 EMA for like a 5-6 months before capitulating. So that's why, if you guys recall, back in January, February, March, April, what we've been saying was like, the move we got right here, it is nothing but a consolidation. And once we break out below our monthly 21 EMA, we're most likely going to drop at least 48 to 50%. Okay, that's why we were targeting 21k plus minus 10%, right? And that's where we got our consolidation between June till November. So 6 months of sideways correction, 12 months of downtrend. Okay, 6 months of sideways correction between June till basically November, and we got a 12 months of a downtrend, meaning like you know, from the bull market peak 69k, right, all the way down to our current low, started like November 8th, November 9th, depending on your time zone. Now it is already November 9th, so you know, it is quite brutal, right, on the macro level. That's why we're saying you have to pay attention to the macro view, okay? Because every single move on the hourly might make you, you know, might turn you bullish, okay? But on the monthly basis, it might be irrelevant, okay? On the quarterly basis, it might be irrelevant and all that good stuff, okay? So going back to the wave analysis, after a 5-way structure, you know you're going to get some correction, okay? That's done, okay? What you need to pay attention to next going to be your, what I like to pay attention to, right? It is my monthly 21, right? My monthly 50, monthly 100, and all that good stuff. So we're hitting all these macro, you know, macro moving averages and all that good stuff, okay? And if you take a look at it in terms of Fibonacci now, right? We talk about the, you know, the 50% pullback, if and only if, right? You take it from the COVID crash, all right here, just about like a, you know, 37k, right? You can see like 50% pullback, it is at, you know, 16.3, 16.2. If you guys recall, one of the reasons we were saying like, hey, if we dump down to a 16.3, 16.2 area, right, the monthly 100 EMA going to temporarily support the price. We don't know if it is going to be a permanent support or if it is going to be a temporary support, but we will just say temporary support till we get enough data to say that, okay, now we're going to the moon and try to attack the monthly 21. Okay, try to attack the monthly 21. All right, for the bulls, basically they just hit 50% pullback. If you're looking for your COVID lows, right, to be your starting point. However, if you're looking for your December 2018, nearly like, you know, 4 years, right, your December 2018 to be your you know, macro bull run, the point where you started your macro bull run, right? You know, you could see like 50% pullback going to be somewhere around like a 14.3, 14.4, okay? And 0.618 going to be at 10k, right? And the 0.618 from this point going to be right around like 11.5, right? Right around 11.5, which is basically close to where? Close to our monthly 100 SMA, okay? Why? That's why we're saying, hey, the monthly 100 SMA going to be a strong pivot point. We're not saying like it cannot basically get a support at, you know, 16k and bounce back up and all that good stuff, but all we're saying is like we respected the 21, okay? We said we're gonna hit our 21 EMA 34, 37, we hit that. We bounced back up to 41. We said we're going down to our 50 EMA on the monthly. We did that. It bounced back up to 32, and we said we're going to dump all the way down to 21k, right? It did that. Now it is getting a support at the monthly 100 EMA and could possibly break it and basically attack the monthly 100 SMA. And once we hit that monthly 100 SMA, I'm not sure if we're gonna hit it this month. If we hit it in November, that means that it could mean like we're going to get a strong bounce back up, okay? Because that's going to be a very big candle, and BTC doesn't like to drop. Hey, what's up, Luan? BTC doesn't like to drop 50%, right, on the monthly cycle. Most of the time, if we drop like that much, right, even 40% drop, right, it likes to pull back up, okay? In terms of body candle, you're not going to get like a 50% body candle. You see what I'm saying? You know, the move from the high to the lows could be more than 50%, but you're not gonna get like the entire move, right? The entire body candle being like 50%, right? So you can see like right here, back in June, right after we shorted it like right around like 31, 32, it dropped 40%, okay? 40%. But guess what? We only closed the candle, you know, right around like 36% and all that good stuff. Okay, that's what I'm saying. If we get down to if and only if BTC drops down to these lows, right, in November, it is likely to get a strong pullback and all that good stuff. That pullback might not mean like we in a bull market, right? It only means like, hey, you know, we got a strong pullback and we just have to wait for, you know, for another few weeks, okay, possibly, okay, 4 to 5 weeks, whatever, before we get back, you know, above the a 3-day 21, weekly 21, monthly 21 before we start to say, hey, we're in a bull run. Okay, so the bull run, once again, I'm just gonna have to repeat it for most of the moon boys. Market will not recover in a full speed until we get above the monthly 21. Okay, whenever we break below our monthly 21, we tend to drop at least 50%. We already got that. So that's the first time we're dropping more than, like, I mean, we dropped 60% back in 2014, okay, below the monthly 21. If you go ahead and take a look at it right here, back in 2014, just about like 60%, okay, just about like a 60% back in 2014, okay, but on average you get about like 50%. All right, so if we take a look at it right here in terms of dropping below our monthly 21 EMA, right, from let's say 37k, okay, so you can see like 60% going to be around, like, you know, going to be right around like the 50% pullback, okay, right around like a 14.7, 14.8. So, you know, we will see, okay, we will see if BTC will retest the monthly 100 SMA and all that good stuff. I know some bears, they're looking for like 6k, 3k, 1k, $100 and all that good stuff, but we just have to be reasonable, okay? We cannot be saying like, oh, you know, from like 24k, 25k, we're going to dump 90% and all that good stuff. It could take like years before we drop down to those lows. All right. Hey, what's up, Brandon? Thanks a lot for tuning in. We got Doomsy in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Lou EN in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We got Adam. We got Talha Muhammad. Talha Ahmed. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Mr. Shoe 589. 47 Zebra in the house. T-Dog, aka Leroy in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the quarterly time frame. Okay, so BTC is doing something it hasn't done before. Okay, that's the first time. Okay, at least, right, based on what we know right here. Okay, based on the macro chart, that's the first time we're seeing like BTC, okay, with a full straight quarterly bearish cycle. Okay, that's the first time. Okay, I know that's the first time we're also dropping below our previous bull market highs and all that good stuff. So we're seeing a lot of, you know, new things, okay, regarding BTC. All right, that's why I'm saying the monthly 100 SMA could be a probable support, because that's going to be the first time we're retesting the monthly 100 SMA. Okay, first time with a full bearish quarterly cycle. First time we close and open a quarterly, you know, cycle below the quarterly 21 EMA, right? You know, first time we, you know, I just said, okay, first time we're retesting our previous bull market peak and all that good stuff. So that could be the first time we're retesting our monthly 100 SMA, okay, which is right here, right? Let's take a look at the EMA. Okay, the EMA, it is at, the EMA, it is at 16.7. So I mean, that's the first time also we're retesting it, right, on you know, if you take a look at it on the BLX chart. Okay, right here we did not retest it right here. So that's the first time we're retesting the 100 EMA actually. Okay, we never retested the 100 EMA. The monthly 50 been our macro support over the last few years and all that good stuff. Okay, but going back to the quarterly cycle, that's new. Okay, so you just have to keep that in mind, and knowing like, hey, if we below our quarterly 21, right, not even the monthly 21, because the quarterly 21 is now lower than the monthly 21. It is at 21, you know, 21.4, right? It is, you know, so the monthly 21 is right around like 30k. So got to get at least above the quarterly 21, and we could start to talk about like, hey, bull run. Okay, we want to go up to like 180 to 200k, and once we get up to those levels, right, you know, it will be time to be looking for, you know, exit point, not like looking for new entry and all that good stuff. Because most people who are panicking to buy right here, they're going to get excited to be buying at 200K and try to sell at $1 million. Okay, so you got to get the macro view correct. Okay, it is nothing wrong for BTC to drop low. Okay, it is nothing wrong, because nothing can go straight up like to the moon just like that. Okay, right? Even if you're going to the moon with a bicycle, right, you're not going to do that. Okay, you're still going to ride it slow, right? So going back to the quarterly cycle, you know, quarterly is actually bearish, right, below the quarterly 21. We talked about it during our previous live stream. We said yes, it is looking good above 20K and all that good stuff, but remember, we're not in a bull market. Okay, we're not in a bull market, and the only way we will be sure to be in a bull market is like once we get above the monthly 21. It is just my strategy. I know you might be saying like, oh, by the time we get above the monthly 21 and above the quarterly 21, BTC could pump like 100%, but who cares? Okay, who cares about like 100% pump when you're looking for like 20x, 30x, 50x and all that good stuff on a macro level for some of these alt? Because most of these alt, we will talk about alt, you know, later on. Most of these alt will not, you know, go for a 100x as long as BTC is in a bear market. And most of these alt like Dogecoin, Ethereum, okay, you name it, XRP, will only break out after BTC after BTC breaks above all-time high or near all-time high. So if you're expecting, for instance, like Dogecoin to go to $3 in 2023, you got to expect like BTC breaking out above like 50K, 60K, 70K, stuff like that. And then we could say, okay, it's time to strongly load up on Dogecoin and unload on BTC, or like load up on Ethereum. I'm just giving you guys some example, or load up on XRP. But as of now, right, just got to load up, keep loading up on BTC, right, until BTC gets above, you know, at least, you know, above the monthly 21. Okay, before we even, you know, start talking about like 100x, because the next 100x coin might not be out yet, okay, for the next bull run, right, and all that good stuff, right? So we're done with the quarterly. So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC with the 4 years cycle regarding the RSI. Okay, let me change this for Leroy. Okay, Sky Medium, thanks a lot for tuning in. Brandon, we'll take a look at Zilliqa. Okay, excuse me. So don't get intimidated about all these colors, right, if you color blind, right? So what you're looking at right now, it is the 4 year cycle, you know, the 4 year cycle of BTC, right, on the RSI, right? So what does it mean? It only means like you know, the RSI, you know, been giving us some parabolic moves, right, to the downside and to the upside. Okay, we got a parabolic move to the upside right here back in 2013, another parabolic move to the downside in 2014, 15, 2017. You guys remember what happened? Parabolic move, another parabolic move to the downside, right, all the way down to a 43 RSI, and so on and so forth. Okay, you can see these parabolicness, right, regarding the RSI. That's pretty clean and pretty clear. You don't need any, you know, extensive TA, right, to understand like, hey, when your RSI gets down to a 42, 43, 41, you got to flip bullish, regardless of what the price is doing, regardless of what the price action is doing. Okay, because your RSI is only telling you, hey, we are extremely oversold, right? Yes, we're not below 30 yet, but on a monthly basis, 43 is actually pretty low for BTC. Okay, one argument you could make is like, hey, we've been making slightly lower lows on a monthly basis. Right here, the low was right around like a 43, 44 actually. Right here, 40, you know, another one, 44, 43. And right here, just about like a 42, 43. So you could be making an argument saying like, we don't know how low this guy gonna go, right? It is going to be a valid argument, right? You don't know how low it is going to be, but based on the previous macro cycle, we could say, hey, I'm gonna accumulate right here at RSI 43, right? Because remember, as I said before, RSI is based on what? Based on closing basis, meaning like candles, right? Closing. These numbers, right? These lows are based on candle closing, okay? So if I change it to lows, right? That's lows actually close. Okay, that's a close, right? That it was actually on lows, okay? So if you take a look at it on based on close, guys, give me 1 second. Satoshi is calling. It's actually SBF calling. That was actually CZ, right? So if you take a look at it right here, right, based on close, we've been making clearly, you know, lower lows right there. Okay, so we could say, okay, our lower lows, right, could be completed very soon, and we could be blasting off. Right, so something to keep in mind: the monthly RSI is extremely low as of now. Okay, it is around like a 40, you know, 41 if you're using the BLX chart. So if you're a macro trader, you'd be like, I know within the next like a few years, right, I want to be selling when my RSI is around like 89, 91, and I don't want to wait till RSI gets above like 80, 79 to be buying. Okay, so if you believe on BTC, if you don't believe if you don't believe in BTC, you'd be like, okay, I just suck it up, I don't care. But if you believe like we're going to get these, you know, we're going to get our RSI oscillating just like that over the next like a few years, you just have to repeat the process. Okay, just have to repeat the process. Okay, I think like most of the world, they paying attention to the macro level, like monthly, quarterly, 50-day cycle, and all that good stuff, right? So it is time to pay attention to it. I know price action could dump lower, yes, but you don't care. You be like, okay, I don't care about the price action. I will basically be buying at these macro supports, right? Quarterly 21, monthly 100 SMA, and all that good stuff. And I will just wait for the next like a 3 to 5 years. Because remember one thing, the 4-year cycle doesn't start like right here. The 4-year cycle has already started, okay, in 2021. Okay, you got 2021 up to 2025. That's 4 years. So you don't want to start your 4-year cycle like you know, in 2024. Yes, that's going to be the best time, right, to be collecting profits, but not the best time to be buying BTC, because it could be already way above the monthly 21. Because once we break out above our monthly 21, which is going to be this white line, the white line right here, right, represent the monthly 21 on your RSI. So whenever you're above it, right, you know you're in a bull run. And that's when you start to get like those 30% monthly candles, okay, 40%, 50%, 100%, and so on and so forth. And some of these art will go like a 10x in 1 month, or like a 10x in 1 week, stuff like that, okay? But it is going to be hard to get like a 10x move right away from this point on, okay? Like for most of the alt, basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Meaning like Ethereum will not go 5x, while BTC is, you know, the BTC monthly RSI is right around 40 to 41. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to connect everything, right? And not looking at, you know, BTC like a, you know, like an altcoin, like a pumping and dumping every single week and all that good stuff. Okay, so we're done with the monthly basis, right? So now let's take a look at BTC on the lower degree. Okay, so the lower degree, we've been saying like, okay, we're not going to extensively break out below our 17.5 as long as what, our 3D MACD is negative, right? But remember what we've been saying also at the same time, the 2D time frame, right, it is our leading indicator, right, for the 3D. Remember that. Okay, so now we got a negative MACD on our 2D basis, right? You can see that price action already gave us the leading indicator, right, for the 3D time frame. Okay, yes, it is not negative yet, but it is likely to what, cross negative. okay, because the 2D time frame is now negative and it will close in less than about like 28 hours, okay, something like that, okay. So it is negative, and you take a look at the RSI support on the 2D basis. That's what we were looking for. We were saying like if we break below the RSI support on the daily or even up to the 2D time frame, the trend will shift, okay. That's the same type of a trend we had back in August, if you recall our mid-August analysis, right? Mid-August, August 15. As long as we broke below the trend line right here, and that was on the daily actually, right? As long as we broke below the trend line support, MACD crossed negative right here. What we said was like we're going down, okay. We're going down to 0.786 down to 0.888. Okay, now we just created a new one right here. You could join this one, right, and just broke below it with a negative MACD. So it is a bearish sign, okay. It is a bearish sign. So so the 3D time frame could basically follow through over the next like a few days, right? So just keep that in mind. That's why I'm saying like the monthly 100 SMA could be retested regardless of what type of support we could get around like the 16K, right? It is not 100% guaranteed we will, but it looks like it could be. The only other possibility is like the 2D MACD, right? Because it hasn't closed yet, right? Flip right back up positive, right? Because if we push back up to like, let's say above like 20K within the next 24 hours, the 3D time frame will basically flip positive, okay. But the problem is this guy right here already broke the trend, okay. So it means that even if we push back up, it is going to be a slow trend, and we will just have to wait and see if the move back up going to be a bullish reversal, or if it is just going to be a wick to the upside to liquidate all the shorts and all that good stuff, right? But the main thing to remember is like we broke below the trend line support right here, so that's not good at all, okay, in term of a reversal, okay, right? So guys, don't forget to hit the likes. Okay, so now I'm gonna take some chat requests, right? We got 25 watching, and if you guys want me to take a look at any coins, let's take a look at Zilliqa for Brandon. ZIL BTC. So ZIL BTC, I was saying like accumulate ZIL right here, okay. That was back in March, right? And it pumped to the upside. And if you guys recall what I said like it could take like multi-month, right, for Zilliqa to retest the lows again, okay. So support for ZIL going to be around like 100 sats. The macro support, if you're patient enough, right, you could wait for the 80 to 60 sats, okay, 80 to 60 sats. But once again, it could take multi-month, right, to get down to the 80 to 60 sats. So best thing to do as of now, it is still to accumulate BTC, right, and wait for ZIL to make a move, okay, to retest the 80 to 60 sats for a possible consolidation and another breakout to the upside, okay. Temporary support, once again, 100 sats, still going to be a temporary support because you got your macro trend line right here. If we break it, you got your 80 to 60 sat, and you just have to be patient after that for another possible big breakout to the upside, right? Let's take a look at, I don't think LTC been holding up. It just had a bullish setup, and we talked about it last time. We talked about the LTC before the breakout, right, during our last update. It did have a similar pattern with BTC, okay. You can see like the flat correction. If you watch our previous analysis, we talked about the flat correction right there for LTC, right there, double top, double bottom. So what we were saying was like, okay, could be, could retest as high as the September highs, somewhere around like a 0.888 Fibonacci, okay. So hit that level, just drop right back down, Okay, so it wasn't like a macro reversal, it was just a, you know, retest of the May highs right there, just about like a $70. Okay, another parabolic move to the downside. Okay, so sometimes you just have to be very, very cautious when you see some of these alt, like in the short to medium term, giving you like a big breakout, and you might be like, oh, we're going to the moon and all that good stuff, but it could just be a temporary pullback, right? On the monthly basis, you can see like it just, you know, it just pushed back up, right? Take a look at your monthly RSI. It's not in a good, healthy momentum. Okay, we're not yet around the monthly 21 EMA. So you got your 0.888 around like $40, and you got your full retracement $30 actually. Okay, 0.888, and you got your full retracement around like $25 to a $20 range. But we will see how we close the monthly time frame right here. Okay, if we close the monthly just like that, that's going to be pretty bearish. Okay, that's going to be pretty bearish, right? But just like the rest of the crypto, it has to get back above the monthly 21 over the next like a few over the next like a few months. Okay, once we get above the monthly 21, you could be like, okay, we got a nice shot for a, you know, good pump, right? So Matic, it is still a savage, right? Likes to pump a lot when market recovers, right? But as I've been saying, you know, I was saying like Matic, the monthly 21 EMA right here, it is a strong resistance. I know it pumped up to like 130, but guys, you just have to be very, very cautious, because most of these alt, they can dump as low as 90%, right? Not from all-time high, but below the monthly 21 EMA. Okay, so what does it mean? I'm not saying Matic will dump 90% below its monthly 21, but you take a look at it right here, just about like 70%, right? On average, most of these alt will dump like 70% below their monthly 21. Matic already dumped 70%. So could it dump like, let's say 80% or even 90% below its monthly 21? That's possible. Okay, that's possible. So you just have to be very, very cautious, right? You know, when these alt like just pump randomly. Okay, because on the monthly cycle, we're not doing anything. Okay, we just around like hugging the monthly 21. The only time we got a nice pump was like after the retest of the June lows, right? But beside that, we just been hugging the monthly 21 EMA. So you have to zoom out. Okay, but if you take a look at the 1 hour chart, the 6 second chart, the you know, 5 second chart, and all that good stuff, those moves, okay, they look parabolic. Okay, so always zoom out in a bear market. Your monthly 21 going to be your strongest resistance. Okay, so keep an eye on Matic. So, you know, let's take a look at it in terms of Fibonacci, right? If we want to take a look at our Fibonacci, right, from all-time low 002, okay, you know, 382, I mean not 382, but 236 is right around 56, and 382 going to be right around like a 20 cents. Okay, so if you want to take it from your not August, but the COVID, the COVID lows, right here, right, you can see like we already nearly hit the 382. If you guys recall, I made a macro analysis for Matic back in May, right, before the breakout below the below the monthly 21, and what we were saying was like, okay, this guy could drop 70%, okay, below its monthly 21, and it did that exactly right here, right? So dump down to the 382. The next macro support going to be 50% pullback at, you know, 14 cents. Okay, so something to keep in mind. So gotta pay attention to a 14 cents to a 20 cents, because you just don't know which one basically going to support the price based on the Fibonacci, because one might be looking at it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and take the entire move. Okay, or one might be looking at it as This one was wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So both of them are pretty valid. Okay, so basically just pay attention to you know, 20 cents to a 15 cents range on a macro level. I'm not saying like we will retest it like in November, December, January, and all that good stuff, but we just don't know you know, what type of a price movement we're going to get right here. Okay, so we could get a descending triangle, we don't know. Okay, we could get a wedge pattern, we don't know. Okay, we could even pump higher, you know, get a, you know, to retest the all-time high and get a three-way move and still do something like that. Okay, but one thing you just have to remember, as long as BTC, you know, is below its monthly 21, I would say 95 or even 98% of the alt will not be in a bull run. They're not. Okay, very few alt will be in a bull run, but we got 20,000 coins. It's impossible to know exactly which one going to be, you know, running the show before BTC starts to run the show. All right, but if you believe in Matic, you just suck it up, okay, and just huddle, okay? Because on the macro level, if you take a look at the RSI, you know, you want to be selling right here, okay? You don't want to be selling right here. You want to be buying like when RSI, you know, on a monthly basis is, you know, running flat, okay? Hey, what's up, hasta la vista? Okay, Monero, another 2015, 2016 coin. So Monero got its flat correction, right? So Monero got the flat correction right here. So it is time to be, you know, it is time to get back to a BTC. All right, you just hit your resistance right here. Could it go higher? Possibly, but it is time to get back to a BTC. All right. Yes, it looks good in terms of divergence, right? You got a nearly 3 years divergence, right? But you know, BTC is running the show as of now. The BTC dominance is extremely low. You know, I think we were around like 38% a couple days ago or yesterday, right? Just about like a 40% as of now based on trading view. So the BTC dominance likely to push higher. I don't see the BTC dominance dropping down lower, and you know, and BTC dropping lower. So on a monthly basis, it looks good. Okay, you got, you know, nearly 3 years of divergence, right? But it is time to suck it up. Okay, it is time to suck it up, right? And get back to a BTC. Let's take a look at it on a weekly basis. The weekly RSI just broke the trend line support. Okay. So basically watch your weekly trend line. Okay, if it breaks below the trend line support, price action breaks below the trend line support right here, you know, you will get more evidence like, hey, we're dropping low. Okay, MACD is negative, right? But your price action is still above your 21. So if we break below the 21 EMA and at the same time break below the trend line support, you know, you will know we will struggle to break the range. Okay, we just have a similar move on gold, right? Retested like 1660, something like that, just pumped back up to like a 1720 with a flat correction, right? Hey, quiet cook, cooking some Luna in the kitchen. I can go live when you're when you're at work. It's fine, man. We got plenty of time to go for more live stream. Yeah, Solana on the macro. I mean, let's take a look at Solana on the macro. So Solana on the macro is just hitting the just breaking below the 50%. The 0.618 going to be roughly around like, you know, $10 to $11 right here, but to be exact, you know, 9.8. Unless, you know, we get some black swan and all that good stuff, right? You know, it could break it. Okay, it could break, but we will see regarding the 0.618 Fibonacci, right? If we're going to get some temporary support, but if BTC going to retest like 12k, Solana will likely to break the 0.618. Okay, and 0.786 is going to be at $4, but we will see in the next like a few hours or days if it is going to hold the 0.618. All right, so let's go back to BTC. On the hourly basis, we haven't yet retested the 1 hour 21 since the initial rejection right here. I woke up and I saw that big rejection. I was like, oh, I knew sucker was gonna go back to the 21 EMA, but even pump up to the 100 EMA right here. Okay, so if it pops back up, you know, got the 1 hour 21 going to be 1 hour 21, you know, 1 hour 50 and 1 hour 100 going to be you know, providing resistances right over the next like a few days and so on. Okay, so they're going to be providing resistances right over the next like a few days if it pops right back up and stuff like that. Okay, until we get a clean divergence, right? It could be doing something like that, we don't know, right? If it pops back up, right? Until we get a clean divergence and all that good stuff. Okay, you're welcome, Quiet Cook. Yeah, so hourly is extremely oversold right over the last few days. It doesn't mean it cannot drop lower, but just, you know, if you're short-term trading, pay attention to the 1 hour to 1 hour. We will likely to go back up to it. Okay, the volatility is extremely high. You can also pay attention to your 15 minutes, right? The 15 minutes being extremely severe to the price action. We cannot basically get back above it. Okay, so got to even if it breaks out, you got your 15 minutes 100. Bear is going to be, you know, shorting at it whenever we retest the 15 minutes 100. Okay, but that's going to be only for the short-term trader. I'm not saying like you know, we will go back to the 15 minutes 100 and then bang, the bull run started. Okay, it is only for the short-term traders. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum very quickly. So Ether macro view. Okay, on a monthly basis, so we know our monthly pivot, right, is at 1050 to a 950. Right, we talk about it. Okay, when Ether was at 1750, 1950, 2050 range, we said the next big pivot going to be 1050 to 950. We just don't know when we're gonna get there. Okay, you know, it got a short-term pullback to like a 16 and all that good stuff, but you know, we're still below our monthly 21 EMA, so no bull run for Ether. In terms of Fibonacci, right, the next big Fib support going to be 650. Okay, for the macro traders. Okay, 650 going to be the 650 to 550 right there. All right, and 1050 to 950 going to be the temporary support, depending on what type of volatility we will get and what type of price action we will get. Right, we will see if Ether will break it. If it breaks it, bang, we got 550 to 650. We could get another big bounce from the 50% pullback back up to the previous Fibonacci. Okay, we'll talk about the 0.618. I know we got $400 at 0.618, but once again, just got to take it step by step. Okay, we've been taking it step by step for Ether, since like December 2021 right here, around like a 4100. If you've been following our channel long enough, we said, okay, we're in a downtrend, we're going to be dumping. So we've been nailing every single top for Ether. Okay, even the 1950 right here, we nailed it. We said 1710, 1950, 2050 range, just accumulate, okay, and just take profit around like 1350 to 1250 range. Okay, we hit that level. Okay, so next big level going to be 650 to 550. But the problem is, once again, we just don't know how long it'll take to break the 950 support. Okay, you don't want to be you don't want to be selling right here. Okay, you don't want to be selling. You want to be a buyer right here and a buyer right there. Okay, the seller range was right here. So if you sold right there, you want to be buying right here and buying right there and wait for the next like a big pump to try to retest the monthly 21 in possibly in Q1 or even Q2 2023. Okay, all right guys, I'm just gonna cut it short, right? $14K is the bottom. We will see. Okay, we just talk about we're not even yet at 14K, right? Yeah, we still at 16K, so we will see. Okay, yeah, on the monthly you can see how clean now it is. Okay, we at 50% pullback from the from the COVID lows. Okay, and if you do it from the December 2018 lows, right, 14.5 going to be a 50% pullback. So that's why it is very, very hard to say, which one going to hold. Okay, 0.618, 50% pullback, we will see. Okay, all right guys, I'm just gonna cut it short, right? Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to join our public Telegram group, link in the description. You can also join the premium group, link in the description, and all that good stuff. All right guys, we might be going live tonight if we make a new low, right, and all that good stuff. Okay, if we break out below 14.5, we can go for another for another live stream. Okay, for Quiet Cook and Leroy, right? And we will talk about altcoin, Dogecoin, BNB, XRP, and all that good stuff, right? So XRP, as I said right here, don't be too bullish, right, around the near the monthly 20, because most of these alt don't get back above the monthly 21 EMA, right, during a bear market, right, unless BTC gets back above its monthly 21 EMA. Okay, so XRP, you only got two price supports. Okay, first one 28 cents and second one just about like a 15 cents, right? So those are the only two price supports for XRP, right? And once we get back above the monthly 21, we will start to look for like $15, $30, $50, $5.89, and all that good stuff. Okay, you take a look at the monthly MACD, does not look good. Take a look at the curvature. You might not see it cleanly on the monthly, but you could see it better on a 3 weeks basis. Take a look at it right here, right? Take a look at it, right? It's not looking good. Okay, it is a very, or if not, you can look at it on the 15D, right? You can see the big rejection right here. Okay, right? you can see it is getting rejected. Okay, so I'm most likely going to get the 5-wave move to the downside. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Okay, if we drop all the way down to 15 cents, that's going to be great. 10 cents, even better, but we will see. Okay, we hit 50% pull, 0.618 right here, pull back up to the 50% pullback, right? 0.618, right? Not 0.618, but 0.786 to 0.888, going to be 18 cents to 14 cents range. So it makes sense, you know, to say like, okay, 15 cents on average going to be a support, right? So bearish on the 3 weeks, bearish on the monthly, bearish on the quarterly, right? So all right guys, thanks a lot for watching.